if you'd like to learn to solder the easiest way without a soldering iron, it's pretty straightforward. You just need three things. You need a cigarette lighter, your solder, and the bit of wire that you're going to solder together. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use the cigarette lighter to heat up the solder, just to create a little ball at the end of the solder. So you don't want it to drop off too soon. So you can see that, it's forming the ball. And when it's getting ready to drop, you want to lift it up a little bit higher. So I'll just get out of camera. And it just dropped there on the table, and you can see that we've got a nice thin wafer of solder, which is a little bit like foil. See, it's quite malleable. And what I'm going to do is, because this wire that I've got today is quite thick, I'm actually going to create another one as well. So let's do it again. We just use a cigarette lighter, heat it up, and you want it to drop from about 50 centimeters. I find waist height onto a solid or a smooth floor works quite well. If you put it onto a concrete floor, you'll find that it just shatters everywhere and you lose the solder. So now I've got two nice thin alfoil sized wafers. So then I'll just get the wire, I'll twist the wire together, so I'm going to solder. So you can see it's quite thick wire. Normally you wouldn't be doing it with wire this thick, but that's just what I had available. Then wrap the wafer around. So there's one of them. Put the second one around as well. Obviously you can do 3 or 4 depending on how much solder you think you're going to need. Then I'll just close this window because it's a bit windy. Then you just heat it up. So just move the heat around. And then what will happen is the solder will just melt straight onto the wire. It's easy as that. Got a bit close bit of carbonisation on it, but you can see, not the best solder, but it'll work.